Before we jump into today's episode, I want to invite you to a live training I'm hosting called The Hidden SEO Mistakes Costing Clinics Patients Right Now and Easy Fixes. If you've ever wondered why your clinic isn't showing up as often as you would like on Google, Google Maps, or even AI-powered search results, this training is for you. I'll be sharing some of the most common SEO mistakes I see clinic owners making right now and simple fixes that can help improve your visibility. You can save your spot by visiting propelyourcompany.com/June. And if you can't make it live, sign up anyway because a replay will be available for a limited time. All right, now on to today's episode. Welcome back to the Clinic Marketing Podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that many clinic owners overlook when it comes to SEO, their social media profiles. Now, before you tune out because you think this is another episode about posting every day on Instagram, that's not where we're going. This episode isn't about creating more content. It's about making sure the social media profiles you already have are helping your local SEO efforts instead of being ignored, because something has changed over the last year. Google is showing more social media content inside business profiles and search results. AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Grok, and others are increasingly using social profiles as one of the many sources to understand businesses like yours. And some patients check social media before they even visit your website. Your website still plays a critical role in local SEO. And you can listen to a ton of other episodes where we dive into topics in more detail about SEO and your website. And you'll see later in this episode how it ties together with social media. So please stay tuned. But what I want you to understand is that your social media profiles have become a part of your digital footprint. And it's yet another layer and strategy that should be worked into your overall local SEO plan. If your clinic has recently or in the past few years changed its focus of services or its location, this information is even more imperative. Before we dive into how to optimize, I want to take a couple minutes to talk about why social media matters for SEO and AI. See, for years, people debated whether social media directly impacted SEO. And that evolution has looked something like years and years ago when it was, no, it doesn't reflect upon your SEO. Then the answer kind of shifted to, well, not really. And then it shifted to a little bit. And then that leads us today, where the answer is way more nuanced. Social profiles help establish consistency and trust. They help verify who you are as a brand, what your clinic offers, where you're located, what services you offer, what conditions you treat, and whether you're actively operating. AI systems are consistently looking for confirmation. The more places they find consistent information about your clinic, and I'm going to repeat that one more time because it's going to come up a couple more times throughout today. The more places they find consistent information about your clinic, the more confident they will be in recommending your business. So you can think of social media as another trust signal. Now that we've got an understanding of the why, let's talk about the how. And it starts with step one, using your real business name everywhere. Now, this might sound obvious, but I still see inconsistencies all the time. Maybe Facebook says Smith Chiropractic and Instagram says Dr. Smith Wellness or Dr. Smith Chiropractic. LinkedIn might say Smith Spine and Performance, and your Google business profile listing might say Smith Chiropractic and Rehabilitation Center. They're slightly different and they can be confusing. Now, before we move forward, I do need to clarify that, and you can listen to another episode that we'll link in here. When it comes to your Google business profile listing, a doctor or a practitioner can have a separate listing from the business listing. So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the business listings. Same goes with LinkedIn. Your business can have a listing, and you as a person or a doctor can have a listing. We're talking specifically about your business listings. And you want to try to use the same business name on all platforms whenever possible. So this goes back to if you purchased the company and then changed the name, or if you've slightly modified the name over the years. Again, consistency helps patients, consistency helps Google, consistency helps AI. On to step 2. Step 2 is to complete every profile. Most clinics leave profile sections blank. I see this all the time when it comes to your traditional social media profiles or your Google business profile listing. So please take a few minutes to review all of your social media profiles. Now, I get it. Different social media profiles have different options for information you can provide. But you do want to take a minute to review each of your listings. Look at your business name, your description, your website URL, your phone number, your address, your business category, your hours, and your booking link or your main call to action. Many social platforms allow you to add location information and business details, so fill them out completely. Incomplete profiles are missed opportunities. As I was preparing this episode, honestly, I realized that our company needs to follow a lot of the advice I'm giving today. For example, over the years, our company has been through an evolution of services that we offer and the types of businesses that we work with. Currently, our primary focus is working with clinics, but some of our social media profiles don't necessarily reflect that the way they should. I'm sure you can relate. Which leads us to step 3. Include what you do and where you do it. Sometimes I think that where we do it and the what we do can be a little confusing, and I'm going to give you some examples. So this is one of the biggest mistakes I see. I see clinic bios that often say something like, helping people live healthier lives, which sounds nice, but it doesn't tell anyone what you actually do. A better bio might be something like chiropractic care, shockwave therapy, and rehabilitation in Tampa, Florida, or helping active adults recover from sports injuries in Scottsdale, Arizona. Be specific, mention your services, mention your city or location. We want to help both people and search engines understand your clinic. Step 4, use the same information across platforms. Your website, Google Business Profile, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, Threads, YouTube, Apple Business Connect. The list goes on and on. Yelp, all of them. Make sure that your name, your address, your phone number, your website, and your core services match everywhere. And even though they aren't necessarily social media, which I already mentioned Yelp, the same goes for Healthgrade's Yelp and other listings. One of the easiest ways to build trust online is consistency. I told you earlier, we're going to be talking about consistency a lot, and consistency is key. When information conflicts, Google and AI systems have to decide which source is correct. So don't make them guess. Step 5. Link everything together. Many clinics forget this step. Your website should link to your social media profiles, and a huge suggestion here that oftentimes when I look at clinics' websites, they have their social media links at the top of their website. I suggest you move those to the footer instead of the header. Why? Because if somebody lands on your website and they see your Instagram icon, they could get distracted and not book an appointment with you, but instead go over to your Instagram and then get stuck on Instagram looking at some other friends' pages and forget to make an appointment. So your social media profiles should be on your website. I suggest they go in the footer, not the header. And your social profiles should link back to your website. Oftentimes I see issues with this. One prime example of this is I see a lot of clinics spending a lot of time and energy focusing on YouTube and creating amazing social content there. And in the descriptions of their YouTube videos, they forget to link back to a specific page on their website or include a call to action or even link to their website at all. So make sure your social media profiles link back to your website. Your Google business profile should include your website. All these connections help establish that all of these assets belong to the same business. Now, I've also seen where people forget to link their social media profiles within their Google business profile. And this can become a problem. In fact, quick story that I've shared probably on here a couple times before, but we were working with a clinic who did not include their Facebook link within their Google business profile listing. So in your Google business profile listing, where you can add your description and all your main information, you can also add the links to your social media profiles. And one clinic had not added their Facebook link. And so Google had assumed that another clinic that was in a different state was that clinic and was showcasing reviews for a different clinic within their listing. So again, everything's connected. We want to make sure that everything is connected and everything is consistent. These connections help establish that all of your assets belong to your business. So think of this as creating a network of trust online around your clinic. Step 6. On social media, talk about your services regularly. You don't need to do this every day. You don't need to post every day. And your post should not focus just on your services, but you should have some that do to send signals to Google and AI about the services that you offer. You don't need complicated videos, but your content should occasionally reinforce exactly what your clinic does. If you offer physical therapy, chiropractic care, acupuncture, shockwave, massage therapy, those services should appear in your content from time to time. AI systems learn through repetition and context. The more consistently, again, we're saying consistent a lot here, the more consistently your clinic is associated with certain services and conditions, the easier it becomes to understand your expertise. Same goes for your location, right? Step 7, use local references. One of the simplest ways to strengthen your local visibility is to mention your community. You can talk about local events, community partnerships, local sports teams, neighborhood activities, and charity events. Now, I don't mean to mention these things on your social media for the sake of mentioning them. They should tie into your organization. Maybe you're a sponsor, or maybe you have a booth at an event, or you work with a local sports team. When appropriate, mention the areas that you serve as you work this in. This creates additional local relevance and reinforces your connection to your community. Step 8, keep your profiles active. Again, this doesn't mean posting every day, but abandoned profiles send a signal too. If your last post was 3 years ago, that doesn't create confidence. Even 1 or 2 updates a month can help demonstrate that your clinic is active and engaged. Now, I get it. There are tons of social media platforms everywhere. And you might say, well, nobody follows us on X, formerly Twitter. To that, I would say make sure that your bio is complete and that your last post states that you don't post often on here and they can follow you on Instagram or visit your website. Because I get it. We don't need to be active on every single social media platform, but you need to ask yourself, where is your ideal patient? Where do your ideal patients participate on social media? And that's where you want to be. Listen, we got to talk about AI because when AI systems evaluate businesses, they are looking for, again, confidence in their signals. They want to answer questions like, is this business legitimate? What services do they provide? What conditions do they treat? Where are they located? Do other sources confirm this information? Your social media profiles help answer those questions. They are not the only factor. I repeat, none of this is a one and done when it comes to local SEO. It's not, I listened to this one episode and I did this one thing and I'm magically outranking my competition. But social media is becoming one more piece of the puzzle. So I suggest that you delegate the following tasks to one of your team members. If you're going to delegate this out, please forward them this episode to listen to, and let's go over your social media optimization checklist. This week, I dare you to set aside a little time and review your profiles. Make sure your business name is consistent, your contact information is complete, your website link is correct, your city is mentioned or your location, depending on where you are located. Your services are mentioned, your profiles link back to your website, your branding is consistent. That we're talking about your images that you're using, your main icons, your colors, that your profiles that you deem important have recent activity. Most clinics can complete this entire project in less than an hour. The biggest takeaway from today's episode is this. Social media is no longer just about engagement, because for a while it was, right? But no. It's now becoming a part of your local SEO strategy. It should become part of your AI visibility strategy. And it's becoming another way for Google and future patients to understand your clinic. You do not need to become a social media influencer. You do not need to dance on TikTok. You simply need to make sure your social media profiles actively reflect your clinic and reinforce the same information you're sharing on your website and your Google business profile listing. Those small updates can help strengthen your overall online visibility and make it easier for patients, Google, and AI systems to understand exactly who you help and what you do. If you would like help improving your clinic's SEO, Google business profile, or AI visibility, be sure to visit propelyourcompany.com/learn if you would like to check out our most recent free workshop, or you can visit propelyourcompany.com and click book a discovery call. We'd love to help you identify opportunities to build a strategy that fits your clinic and your goals. And hey, before we head out, if you found this helpful, please share it with somebody else that you think would find it useful. And we would also love if you could leave a review. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon.